Hi, how's it going, guys? It's Mufta, FGBFX. Nice to see you guys again. It's Monday morning, and the NZD already is breaking out of this shell. So earlier on, I thought after analysis, you could see that the NZD is um, on a very pure double bottom from here. Um, So on the monthly time frame is a double bottom, and we all know double bottoms are reversal patterns, right? So this happened, and it gave us some sort of heads and shoulder structure. Um, the heads and shoulder structure right here, and actually now it's breaking out of the neck. So earlier on, before the market opened, and I was doing the analysis, I could see a lot of scenarios playing out. There was a lot of scenarios that I thought could play out. So one was these were denoted by the candles, the lines here. So earlier on, you could see if it was going to break out, because after this, it was kind of consolidating at this neckline over here. So you could kind of tell perhaps if it was going to push down, break down out of this consolidative, out of this trend line that was here. So we're looking for it to break down from here, first of all, and test the 618 of this move. So make a correction, so to say. So it was going to correct deeper than this correction. It was going to correct deeper than this correction. So before it made the up move, or it was going to break out straight away, because this pattern looked like a rising, an ascending triangle. An ascending triangle. I don't know what an ascending triangle is, right? So what happens in an ascending triangle? There's a breakout. So basically, there has been a breakout right here, and buyers who come in. I'm not a breakout trader. If you're a breakout trader, you should be buying this right now. As for me, I would like to wait for a short opportunity around this level. Until then, I'll be looking for now, if I'm a day trader, I'll be looking for buys on the smaller time frame. So this is an open buy trade right now. The NZD-US is an open buy trade. You see the candles are stronger, and so there might be a little bit of hold up around here, but hopefully to break through and continue up to the top side. Hey, and it's December. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all my US friends. The second pair we have here is the Euro NZD. I think that the New Zealand dollar gained a lot of momentum this morning. It's 6 a.m. here in Ghana. So from last week, there have been a breakout from the huge consolidative pattern that had been playing out earlier on. And before the market opened, I was expecting two options for it, either for the and you could see I was on resistance too also. So there had been a breakout. So before the market opened, there was this engulfing candle right at this level right here. Let's go back a little bit so you see it. So usually after a breakout, there's a retest, and I mean there's a trend to the downside. So basically, this is a trending market right now on the daily. Uh, Trending market on the daily. There was an engulfing candle here. So before the open, at the margin two, I was looking out for two scenarios to play out. It was either there was a retest to this upside, then I come in short, or it went down straight down. Then it came down, or it went straight down to this side. Right. So those were the two scenarios I was actually looking out for. So hence the other line. But when it gets here, 169, 1.69, 1.69 is a very good support. There'll be buyers around here. So we also watch out from this level onwards. So sellers, if you are selling, I mean you should kind of look out for that zone, the breakout here. So you should always look out for this zone right here. So watch out, short sellers. If you go past the 4 hour, should be looking at that sell level. So the euro is gaining momentum. The New Zealand dollar is gaining lots of momentum this morning. I look at the pound odd, the pound odd, the pound odd. So the pound odd. Let's start from the monthly time frame. So there was a little bit of consolidation around here. Consolidation, a breakout of the consolidation, a retest of the consolidation. The same thing happened, the same pattern around here. There's a continuation to the upside. So after a breakout of a consolidative pattern, there's usually a trend. So now let's take you back to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, you would see those of us who use the Fibonacci numbers a lot. So overall, this is an uptrend which is approaching the overall retracement zone, right? And that's 61.8. Can you guys see it? Okay. Let me just make it black so everyone can see it. So 61.8, approaching 61.8. So let's move straight to the daily. There was a little bit of consolidation here last week. I thought it was going to do this straight away last week. I didn't post any analysis last week, but there was a little bit of consolidation around these levels last week. You could see it, and the pound pushed higher, and it could also go higher to over here. I'll be looking to short from this level because I'm a swing trader. I'm very still bullish until my sell zone. So my sell zone around the 1.91708. So basically that's what I'll be looking out for, and hopefully the trend will hold around that zone. Very, very, very brief. I think there'll be a lot of movements this morning. So that should be it for pound AUD. So in the interim, I'm bullish, but overall, it has approached a selling zone, a seller zone. So basically, you'll be looking for sales. Let's take it to the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar, there was from the monthly time frame, you could see there was a huge breakout of this. A huge breakout of this distribution zone consolidative pattern on the monthly time frame. So the same monthly time frame, this pair is trending downwards. So after the breakout, there is usually a trend, right? And for me, this is the retracement zone that I'm looking at. And the same thing happens when you take out our Fibonacci expansion zone, pick it up from here, put it on the retracement, change the color a little bit. So over here we have our a retracement out of this um, first of all, you need to know that the market is trending on the bigger time frame. So when you have that figured out that the market is trending, um, you'll be able. Most of the decision is then made from you knowing the market is trending. So you know what a trend is, right? Higher highs, lower lows, and that's the same thing that's happening over here. Um, so basically, it's safe to say that there's the trending market. Those high, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, etc. So what's the best way for me to figure out the pattern? How well is the pattern doing? I pull out my Fibonacci numbers. You can see this retrace a little bit 618 of this. The same thing happens over here, 61.8 of this, you know, before it fell to the downside. The same thing again, 61.8 of this before it fell to the downside. It's here. So my Fibonacci expansion zone is a tool that can help me tell where the next expansion or retracement zone is. So I plug it here, put it at the high. And also on the daily time frame, you see that there has been a breakout of this consolidative pattern right here. So basically, this will be my zone, my first retracement zone. I might be looking to buy depending on what happens in these zones right here. See, there's a breakout. Um, a little bit of retest going on the daily. I mean, if it goes back up, it might be a good selling opportunity. But when the market opens, there's usually a little bit of distortion, and it's Monday. So this is testing the backside of this um, uh, trend line. So hopefully there'll be a break. If not, I'm looking to buy because I'm a long-term trader. If this happens, but if not, if it retraces from here also, we might until then, because it's a trending market, you should be looking to short. Until then, you'll be looking until this happens over here. We can't assume anything until it happens. Then we could analyze again and see if we could still take the shot. If not, you'll be looking for other opportunities elsewhere. So that is the opportunity for the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar is have a bearish bias on that also. Usually I don't go past the 4 hour for my entry. So that's the Aussie dollar for you. So let's see how that plays out. We're on the euro dollar. The euro dollar, yes, on the weekly time frame, you could see that last week they're on this 61.8 retracement level of this zone. You could see that there was a test, and the market, the buyers came in and the pair got rejected at that level. But from the weekly time frame, it's still a valid downtrend. It's still going to sell. There might be a little bit of push up from here, but I still think from the structure I'm seeing here, that this will go down. So I'll be looking to buy basically because I'm bullish on the pair. The monthly time frame confirms that for me. There's a very strong bullish price action in the monthly time frame. And bear in mind, I'm a long-term trader. I'm not a short-term trader. So you would have to consider your time frame very well. So my monthly bias is to the top side. So this weekly candle might get to this point where I want to go in long. Yeah, so for now, if I was a day trader, I'll be looking for short opportunities on this pair, and I think it's going to continue down from here. It looks like a double bottom. It looks like a double bottom here and here, but I don't think it's strong enough to hold this downtrend. You could see there was from last week, last 2 weeks, sorry, from this double top, there was a breakout of the double top. There was a retest of the resistance. That retest, this should continue down. I mean, it's more likely to continue down. That's the euro dollar for you. So let's look at the pound. The pound is quite an interesting one because of what has been going on in the UK. I mean, it's consolidating at a very key point. There are two scenarios that play out right now. So you could see, first of all, if you know patterns very well, if you know a lot of patterns, you can actually tell that from the bigger time frame, you could say it's bullish basically, and you want to be looking out for buys or a retracement zone to sell, right? A supply zone to sell from. And look at the daily, you can actually tell what this pattern here is. Left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This looks like a very good heads and shoulders pattern, inverted heads and shoulders pattern. On the other hand, it looks like a bullish flag also. So there's a lot of things that could go on here. So my first assumption, based on the analysis, is that my first assumption based on the analysis is that this is a flag and it's going to continue up. So when this breakout happens, there might be an up move to this level. So this level is where I will be looking to short from as a swing trader. If it breaks out to the upside, fine. So I have two scenarios in mind because the pound is not so stable at the moment. So a lot of things could happen. So I'd be looking, for this to happen, this upside to happen, the pound has to break out of this consolidative pattern that it's in right now. It has to break out of this consolidative pattern. first before anything like this will probably play out. And also if it comes down, so I'm looking for, before I trade this pair, I'm looking for a breakout out of either direction. I'm looking for a breakout out of this, because in here it's not actually clear in the consolidative zone. In this zone, it's not actually clear. The pound is not actually clear. So for me to be safer with my capital, I'll be looking for a breakout out of the consolidative zone before I maybe sell, or the other way around also. That's the pound for you. Let's go to the pound NZD also. Yeah, so the pound NZD, I mean, what can I say? The NZD is stronger, so the pound is a little bit unstable. So that should tell you what's likely going to happen here. So hopefully there'll be a breakout down to the downside of this pair. There'll be a breakout to the downside. Hopefully, because it has been consolidating to the downside. I mean, if you check on the weekly, you see there's a double top pattern here. There's the left top, this is the right top, right? So we all know a double top is a likely, reversal pattern. And it consolidated for a while. There was consolidation for a while. There was consolidation for a while. And you could see the pattern that's tried to play out over here. So yeah, what pattern is this? This is a descending triangle. So the consolidative pattern is forming a descending triangle. So because of an NZD trend, I assume this is going to break out strong out of this. But out of that, I still remain bullish on this pair. So that's why you see this zone here. So I'll be looking to see what happens around here for my bullish bias to be complete. So I'd like to buy from this level. I'd like to buy from this level when the breakout happens. Depending on how the breakout is, I mean, I would have to look at the price action if it's going to be a strong breakout or no. So for now, sellers are in this market. You're selling out. You'll probably sell out of this zone, on the breakout. I'll be looking to buy, hopefully. I was short, last week, but because of what happened around here, I closed my short. So basically, I'll be waiting for buy opportunity for myself. That's the pound NGD. The Euro AUD is quite unclear, so I'm not sure I would be sharing it with you guys. So I mean, if you have done the analysis, you can just tell us about it in the comment section. I'm not really sure about the analysis, so I won't be sharing it with you guys. The last one for today will be USD CAD. Yeah, so the USD CAD, I love markets that are consolidating, right? They show very clear direction. So when you look at the weekly and the monthly, you could see, first of all, on the weekly time frame, basically it's about patterns for me. It's about patterns for me. Double top, very simple pattern on the bigger time frame. On the daily also, you could see that the sellers are much more involved than the buyers, in this pair right here. So there was a pullback after this support zone was touched, there was a pullback on the overall downtrend, and when you use your feeble to measure, look for a retracement of the out of these levels. You see that it's strictly on the 6-1. It bounced up on the 618. So that's the top down analysis really. There's a bounce off for the 618. Came back again, did a double top, and continued down to the downside, and it got to support again and made it up once more. So I mean, we have like a triple top here. Right. So what I'm looking out for right now at this level, the rational thing for me to do is to be short at this level. As of now, the pair is currently consolidating. There's a consolidative pattern here. I'll be short. I mean, if this comes to this area again, I would go short. If it breaks out of the triangle, I still believe there would be another retracement, to the top side because of the time frame of the consolidation. So the consolidation pattern, the setup is on the weekly and the consolidative pattern is on the daily also. So it might take a little bit more time after the consolidation before a breakdown to the downside. But for now, for smaller time frame traders, this might be. I mean, the short sellers should come in, the intraday guys from this trend line traders would like to come in. But the dollar seems to be stronger this morning. I don't trade with sentiments. I just use technical analysis. So this might be a good indicator. So we might see this happen. When it happens, I mean, I'm going to reanalyze. Okay, one thing, guys. Okay, whenever you do analysis and the opposite happens, what do you do? How do you handle that? Do you just like okay, I mean, should I trade it the same way I did the analysis, or you redo analysis? How do you do it? You can drop your comments below. So after, if my first analysis is invalidated, I mean, I just clear out all the lines on the chart. I clear out all the lines and I reanalyze. And the same thing, that's what I do every week. At the beginning of the week, there are new lines, clear out all the old lines from the past week. And basically, that's how we do our analysis over and over again. So there's a breakout. When there's a retracement to this side, hopefully we should be seeing a downside. And let's not forget the possibility that the upside could happen, could break to the top side or even more. Let's not forget that possibility. So your stop loss should always be in check. You need to know where at what point in price, not in your money or not in your risk, not in your balance, not in how much you are willing to risk. At what point in price will your analysis be invalidated? And that's my question for you. Or that's the tip for the day, for the week, I mean. Is your analysis invalidated? So when you get to that point where your analysis is invalidated, that would the same thing inform you on where to close your trade and where to put your stop loss. So let's say, for example, because I'm looking at this trade as a double top, my invalidation point will be above the double top, some space. You give it some space, I mean. Although we know the double top, when it breaks, it will be around here. So you give it some space to the top side, right? When you give it some space, you definitely know if this thing comes to this top side, there is likely going to be continue up, and the double top is no more there. So this is a point where my analysis will be invalidated, and this should also inform my reward level. So if my risk, calculating it from here to here, as 80 pips, and I bring my the same thing, the same measurement. This is 140. It's not up to 1:2. So depending on how you always want to how you always want to how you want your risk to reward levels to be, um that should inform how your stop loss is. That should inform where you want, or what kind of trades you should take. So if you only took 1:2, your risk to reward is one risk, two reward. You wouldn't be taking this trade because it's not up to two. But if your risk to reward is 1-to-1, it might be a good trade for you. So basically that's it. All right, guys. Hopefully see you guys and have a good trading week. Bye bye.